Hello guys, so from Google I/O 2023, Google announced that it has trained its generative conversational AI, which is BARD, in over 20 programming languages.
BARD can now collaborate on tasks like code generation, debugging, and explaining code snippets. BARD has already learned more than 20 programming languages, including C++, Go, JavaScript, Python, Kotlin, and even Google Sheets functions.
Now, on the other hand, Bing, which is also a conversational generative AI from Microsoft, has also been generating code since its existence. As a developer, I've been using both Bing and BARD, and today we are going to try and do a very simple test between Bing and BARD with some code. So basically, we are going to do something we call code war between Bing and BARD.
So just like ChatGPT, Bing and BARD are conversational generative AI. Bing is made by Microsoft, BARD is made by Google. If you want to access Bing, when you open Microsoft Edge browser, you can see at the top right corner here, there is this new chat icon with B inside. When you click on it, you would have access to Bing chat and you can start asking it questions. Or when you open bing.com, you can also click on chat here. This will also open Bing chat for you, and then you can put in any question you want at all. It is not only about programming question. You can ask Bing and BARD any question at all, like depending on your field. I use it as a developer, so mostly when I want to solve like programming questions, I can ask Bing or BARD. And then with BARD, when you go to bard.google.com, you are going to open BARD, and then you can put in your prompt here, and then it is going to respond to you. What we are going to do is we are going to go to leetcode. We are going to get 3 problems from leetcode on different levels. We're going to start from easy, move to medium, and then hard questions. We're going to use the same format for Bing and BARD. We're going to copy the question together with the constraint and then ask them to solve the problem. So we just want to test if they actually understand, if they will understand and be able to solve the problem with just the question and then the constraints. Right. So after they solve the problem, we are going to copy the solution, put it in leetcode, and run the test to see if it passes all the test cases. So if it passes all the test cases, we are going to give it 100%. It means it's been able to solve the question. So for example, if we have 2 test cases and after running the test case, it is able to pass just 1 test case, it means we are going to divide 100% by 2 and it will be 50%. So if it is 3 test cases, we will divide it by 3 and then that is just going to be the score. So yeah, I'm excited about this. Let's jump into leetcode and then kick this off. Alright, so I've opened leetcode and I'm going to start with an easy question. Here it says write a function to find the longest common prefix string amongst an array of strings. If there is no common prefix, return an empty string. And here is an example. So we have flower, flow, flight, and you could see the common prefix here is FL, as you can see from the output. And for example, this one, dog, race car, and then car, as you can see from the prefixed words, there is no common prefix, so it is going to return an empty string, right? Yeah, so this is the question we are going to give to BARD and Bing to see how they solve it. So I'm going to copy the question and then I will paste it here. This is BARD, and I will also paste it for Bing. And what I'm going to add is the constraint. So we are going to give both the same kind of format just to see if they understand. Right, so I'm going to add a constraint here. Alright, then I'm going to send this and then send this for Bing as well. The function was written in Python, which is basically fine, but I'm going to copy the same solution and put it in leetcode, and I don't want to fix any indentation issue, so I'm going to ask it to convert this function to JavaScript. So I'm going to say convert this function to JavaScript. Alright, so looks like BARD's own is done. So as you can see, longest common prefix accepts a string and then does a check, it does a sort here, it does some looping here. So I'm going to copy this solution, put it in leetcode, and run the test to see if it actually passes. So I'll copy this one. I'm going to open leetcode. Looks like, yeah, the function name is the same, the argument is also the same, so I'm going to paste what is inside it, and I'm going to try and run this. So looks like Bard was able to get it correct. There were two test cases. All the two test cases passed. Let's also check for Bing. So I'm going to copy this one from Bing. I'll go to leetcode and I am going to replace this, and I am going to hit run. And this one is a passed. They all got it correct for the easy question, which is very cool. Yeah, they were able to get it correct. So 100% for Bard, 100% for Bing. Alright, so far so good between Bing and Bard. Let's move on to the medium question. The problem is threesome, and the question says, given an integer array nums, return all the triplets nums I, nums j, nums k, such that I is not equal to j, I is not equal to k, and j is not equal to k, and nums I plus nums j plus nums k is equal to 0. Notice that the solution set must not contain duplicate triplets. So basically what the question means is that when you're giving like an integer of numbers like this, for example, you can pick 3 numbers, and then when you add them it's supposed to give you 0, but then out of the 3 numbers you've chosen, there shouldn't be duplicates of the same number. That's basically the problem we want to solve. So for example, we have this one, and we could see that -1 plus 0 plus 1 is actually equal to 0, and then these are all different numbers. There's no duplicate, right? So it's going to be an output, as you can see here. This is the medium question we are going to give to Bard and Bing. We're going to use the same format as we used for the easy one. So we'll copy the question and then the constraint. So for the second question, Bard was, able to remember. For the initial one, we asked it to write it in JavaScript. So this time, it didn't write it in Python by default. It's actually written this in JavaScript already. But when I check Bing, Bing is actually saying, let's try a different topic. Sorry about that. What else is on your mind? So it looks like Bing is not actually able to solve this one. I'm going to try again, just to see what it says again, what Bing says again. Alright, so it looks like Bing has started writing this in Python again. So yeah, let's see what it says.
No!
Alright, so it looks like Bing started solving this as you saw, but for some reason it can't solve the problem. Maybe it does not understand the problem, or like it needs more information. But yeah, it is the same format, or it's the same problem we gave to Bard, and Bard was able to solve it, even though we've not tested the code yet. But yeah, I think we are going to give Bing 0 for this one at the moment. Let's try and see, even though Bard solved it, but let's try and test and see if it is correct. So there were 3 test cases set up for this one, and as you can see, the first case was wrong. It got the second case actually right, and the third one was wrong. So out of the 100%, we are going to divide it by 3, and I think Bard is going to have 33.3% out of this one. So yeah, well done, Bard. Alright, so we are going to try with a leetcode hard question this time. This one is best time to buy and sell stock. This is basically going to find the best time to buy or sell stock based on a given array of item prices or stock prices. So it looks like Bard is done with the code. What I noticed is Bard actually wrote this again in Python. I was expecting it to write it in JavaScript again, since it was able to remember this one and write, because of what I said here, to convert a function to JavaScript. But yeah, it's actually written the function again in Python. So I'm going to ask it again to convert this in JavaScript because I want to use JavaScript environment to test it. Alright, so it's converted this to JavaScript, and yeah, I can see max profit with 2 transactions, accepts prices, and yeah, does some check on the prices. Prices is actually an array. It looks like Bing is also done with the function here. There's some extra explanation. I think yeah, it's cool. It's cool to give some explanation to actually show what the function is doing. What BAT did was actually give an example of how the function can be used together with like the output you're going to get. BAT was able to get 2 test cases correct. That's the first one, and then the last one, BAT. The middle one was actually wrong. 2 out of 3, which is good enough. Let's actually check the function from Bing. Yeah, so it looks like Bing was able to get this one correct. Like as you can see here, all test cases passed and the answer is actually accepted, which means 100% for this one for Bing.
Alright, so guys, that was interesting. After the 3 difficulty level questions, we have a tie as you can see on your screen. So both Bing and BAT had 66.67%, which means that we need to break the tie. What do you think?
I think we would have to break the tie with one hard level question from leetcode. I've gotten a hard question from leetcode, and this is supposed to find median of 2 sorted arrays. So if you know median is actually like the middle number, and this is the question: given 2 sorted arrays, nums1, nums2, of size m and n respectively, return the median of the 2 sorted arrays. This is an example. So if I have 2 arrays, 1 and 3, and then the second one is 2, it is going to merge the arrays. So it's going to add 1, 3, 2, and then sort them. So we are going to get this, and then it's going to find the median. So with this one, because there are 3 items, the median is going to be the middle number, which is 2. Now for this one, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, is going to put them together, sort them. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to find the median number, which is basically these 2 because there are 4 items. Add them, divide them by 2, and we're going to get 2.5. Right? So that's the question we want Bing and BAT to solve. And let's actually copy the problem together with the constraint and set the ball rolling. So whilst Bing is giving us a lot of explanation, I think BAT is actually done converting to JavaScript, so we can copy and test the code for BAT. So wrong answer
No!
from BAT. Okay, that's interesting. So none of the test cases passed, which basically means 0.
Oh my god.
Alright, so as you can see, with a lot of explanations from Bing, yeah, was finally able to give us an answer. Let me copy. Bing was able to get this correct. All the test cases passed. We gave the same question together with the same constraints to Bing and BAT. Just to break the tie, and as you can see, BAT wasn't able to get it right. Bing was able to get it right. Now you can clearly see that for Cold War, we have a champion here, which is
Alright, so now you've seen Bing and Bard in action, solving leetcode questions in different difficulty levels. And which one would you use to solve your code questions, or which one would you go to when you have a code problem? So let me know which one you prefer, and let me know what you think about Bing and Bard based on what you've seen as well. But this was a very interesting challenge for Bing and Bard, and yeah, it's been exciting. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications as well.